The following program is not for children. There has never been a more underrated arch nemesis slash hater in the DC canon other than Barbara Ann Minerva, better known as the Cheetah. She's a member of the Legion of Doom and Wonder Woman's arch nemesis, and one of her two oldest and deadliest adversaries. Of course, many people can recognize her because of her design, and she has a lot of fans due to her attractiveness with her huge breasts and her giant behind. However, when you ask people to go over her backstory or even name like 5 of her stories, guaranteed they will go dead silent. Because despite her fanfare and her being the arch nemesis of Wonder Woman and a literal member of the Legion of Doom and the secret society of supervillains, DC treats her like actual fucking trash outside the comics, which isn't surprising because she is a Wonder Woman villain. Yeah, you've been on the internet recently, you would know that many people like M Enterprises, Demigod, and recently today the comic book lads have been making videos about how even though she's on the DC Trinity, Wonder Woman gets shafted when compared to the other villains and superheroes, because she's a part of DC's Trinity with her, Superman, and Batman, and she's on the superhero Mount Rushmore with Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man. Marvel milks the shit out of Spider-Man as much as I love him. He gets all the movies, all the TV shows, and especially the video games, but the other heroes like the Hulk don't get shit. DC has been doing a lot of stuff with Superman in the past decade, like he has Injustice, a James Gunn movie, Supergirl's new trash-ass movie that was mid, and My Adventure with Superman. Wonder Woman has no video game, 2 shitty live-action movies, 2 actually good animated movies, but the last one was in 2019, and that was her only film in the DC AMU, which is also the only time we had a good Cheetah aside for the DC AU Justice League cartoon. And unfortunately, Cheetah beat her arch nemesis follows suit. So, let's go with her comic book origin and how she's treated outside the comics. So, there's been several characters to take the mantle of Cheetah. However, Dr. Barbara Ann Minerva is the most infamous and the most famous and the one that many people know. So, originally she was an ambitious archaeologist who gained ferocious powers of a mystical cat deity, which is really, really complicated, but I'll try my best to explain her backstory. So, driven by a desire for immortality and power, Minerva led an expedition deep into African wilderness to locate the hidden tribe of the plant god UNDERUTILIZED. I guess that's how it's pronounced. So, after her team was trapped, Minerva participated in an arcane ritual by ingesting the god's berries and the blood of a human host. She was granted equipped with speed, agility, and superhuman strength, but needs to feast on human flesh in order to survive. Look, Wonder Woman is based off of mythology, so it's going to get fucking weird. So, because of this, the transformation is a curse, and because her body rejected UNDERUTILIZED's strict requirements, such as remaining a maiden, her Cheetah form became a deranged, flesh-craving monster, and she blames Wonder Woman for her tragic transformation. So she brings her villain's nature to become a top-tier threat in the DC universe. Top-tier threat, huh? So yeah, that is pretty much the story of Cheetah in a nutshell. Originally archaeologist cursed by the gods, which is really ironic because Wonder Woman was a blessing by the gods, meanwhile her arch nemesis was a curse. And since then, she's pretty much became an arch nemesis, having many toe-to-toe blows with her. She's also supposed to be one of the fastest and most powerful metahumans in the DC universe, being able to go toe-to-toe with the Flash. Not only that, but depending on the continuity, Cheetah is even bisexual or even maybe a lesbian, with some versions having romantic feelings for Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman being able to empathize with Cheetah. Since contrary to popular belief, no, Wonder Woman isn't a mass murdering a tyrant. that wants to kill her victims. So, going over Cheetah's backstory with her confusing origin with the gods and her relationship with Wonder Woman and why they're rivals, and that she's a member of the secret society of supervillains and one of the top tier haters in DC. How is she treated? Like actual fucking trash. No, legit like actual trash. I don't know what y'all expected considering she's a Wonder Woman villain, but DC be doing her and Diana so goddamn dirty outside the comics is insane. Let's go in order why. Surprise to absolutely no one, the best Cheetah is from the DCAU and Justice League cartoon and Justice League Unlimited, with her second best appearance being in the DCAMU in the movie Wonder Woman Bloodlines. I'm pretty sure this is many people's introduction to Cheetah, just like it was with Wonder Woman, and a lot of kids had a childhood crush on Cheetah because of how attractive and curvaceous she was. However, despite being a Wonder Woman villain, she spends most of her time fighting Batman, and hell, she even had a relationship with him, with her rivalry with Wonder Woman being barely on screen. Now, this show gave us the meme of Cheetah and Batman being in a relationship. How, despite that, I actually really like the way it's done. So, as we all know, Cheetah is a very attractive metahuman. Huge thighs, a giant behind, large breasts, and a very curvaceous figure. How, despite her attractiveness, she still suffers from body dysmorphia, and even sees that she's a freak. Batman sees this, and he reveals he knows her backstory and her real name, and is able to cheer her up. Surprising Cheetah that Batman knows that much about her. And not only that, but we all know that Batman loves cats. So Cheetah goes in for a kiss and kisses him passionately, which was so beautiful that Lex Luthor and the other villains like Solomon Grundy tried to hate on her and kill her, only to be unfortunately caught by the Joker. Don't worry, she's still alive. And here is where we go downhill. Catwoman hunted. Okay, so we got a cool transformation scene of her in her regular form, and then her clothes rip off, her skin turns yellow, and she turns into a tall cheetah monster. Now, as for this design, I like the hair, the tail, and the way the body looks, especially the upper chest, but the face just being a yellow human. Really, bro? Are we serious right now? Compared to like the original Cheetah design from the DCAMU, it looked like an actual cheetah face, and it had the spots on it and whatnot. Here, they literally just colored a human woman's face yellow. Anyway, so Cheetah in this movie is beefing with Catwoman instead of Wonder Woman, who does appear in this movie, which, okay, cat on cat action, sure, that's fine. But, bro, God, the way they defeat her in this movie. Okay, so she gets choked out by fucking Catwoman's bullwhip, which she should have been able to whip out of. And then Catwoman yeets her overhead, and then she falls on a bed of spikes and dies. Superhuman durability, by the way. Remember that. Second best Cheetah is definitely in the DC AMU. However, she only really matters in the film Wonder Woman Bloodlines, which as of the time of recording this video is the last Wonder Woman movie in both animation and live action. It's also the last good one. So in terms of her design, it's the modern Cheetah with the hair. She's still really attractive, and I like the way she looks with the hair, the chest, and the thighs, and the behind. But yeah, unfortunately, even though this is my favorite design for her, and her fight scenes are cool, she still suffers from being treated like garbage. She only talks in this one movie, and even then, she's pretty much like a secondary antagonist in this movie. And then in Justice League Dark Apocalypse, the last film in this series, she only appears for 15 seconds. She gets shot and killed in her titties by some regular Lex Luthor ass bullets, and then bam, that's it. Superhuman speed, superhuman strength, superhuman durability. supposed to be on par with the Flash in terms of speed, and one of the top 5 speedsters, and she can't dodge bullets. Wonder Woman 1984, her only live action, god fucking damn it. Okay, let's talk about the design first. Why they make her look like this? Why is she so goddamn ugly? She's really hard to see in the movie's lighting because of how dull and bland the DC EU's color palette is. They made her all gray instead of orange. Why couldn't he go with orange? It makes no sense. So she appears in the last act of the film and is super duper cringe. Like, some say that the fight choreography is good, and okay, if it was able to be visible and not by the bad lighting, maybe, but yeah, we were at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Cheetah adaptations. Even though the DC AMU Cheetah was underutilized, at least she had a decent film appearance and a really, really good design. This one has a bad design and only one movie appearance. Not only that, but the DCEU was a fucking mess, so she didn't get to be Wonder Woman's arch nemesis, and again got shafted and killed in one movie. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we are long overdue for a new version of Cheetah. I don't know what is with DC hating their cat mommies. I mean, even my baby girl Selena Kyle can't escape this kind of bullshit, as I mentioned in my last video. But Cheetah is in so much need for a redo because she barely appears in anything, and she and Wonder Woman have no games. Literally, how do you take one of the most best and iconic rivalries in comic book history and then proceed to do nothing with it? Man, this is an L.